And what was the reaction early on, kind of fingerprints of the gods type of time? This is pre-internet as well, which is interesting.
Yeah,
And yet the book sold massively worldwide.
it
But
did.
that's
Yeah.
probably where you first started feeling the resistance.
Yes,
from
it's when I first started noticing that archaeologists respond to my alternative narrative, not actually by deconstructing that narrative, but simply by making statements of authority. Hancock is wrong. 100 years of archaeology has not found any evidence for a lost civilization, therefore his claims are bogus. And then they started to add to that, Hancock is a pseudoscientist or a pseudo-archaeologist. These are labels. First of all, you come from a position of authority and say, we're archaeologists, we know everything. This man is an outsider, he's just a journalist, what does he know? Don't even listen to him. And then secondly, when you find that people are listening to him, you then attach a label to him and say he's a pseudo-archaeologist or a pseudo-scientist, as though I'm pretending to be an archaeologist or a scientist. I don't pretend to be an archaeologist or a scientist. I don't want to be an archaeologist. I am not a scientist. I am a journalist. I'm investigating a story where one narrative has controlled people's understanding of the past for far too long. And my purpose is to provide an alternative narrative, and I do so as a journalist. So I object to being called a pseudo-archaeologist or a pseudo-scientist. It's ridiculous to label me with that, but it's a very clever way to dismiss an opponent's work, is to say, oh, he's just a false example of what we really are. And just hope that people will say, oh, he's a pseudoscientist, we'll not investigate this any further. If somebody hears my name for the first time and maybe remotely interested in the ideas that I put out, the very first place they're going to go is Wikipedia.
I went there this morning.
Yeah, and the Wikipedia page will announce that I'm a promoter of pseudoscientific theories.
First line.
First line, right up there in the front. And so the purpose of that is to get people who might be interested in my work to switch off right away and not take it further. And it's a deliberate purpose, because Wikipedia pages are generally editable, but my page is not. You can't make edits on my page. There's a team of moderators who closely control the page, and anybody who attempts to edit it, all edits are rejected. The page is locked and controlled by moderators who include archaeologists and friends of archaeologists. So actually,
Yeah,
Wikipedia
is a hive of censorship.
Wikipedia is not serving up an honest, unbiased, objective approach to my work. What Wikipedia is serving up is the view of a small group of archaeologists about my work. That's what's happening. This is not an encyclopedia in that sense. I mean, it makes me wonder. I happen to know my own story, and I happen to know, the facts of that. But it makes me wonder about every other single fact that Wikipedia presents. Is the whole thing agenda-driven? Is it serving the interests of a small, specific interest group who have taken control of that page? I think Wikipedia need to change their policies. They should not allow one side of a debate to control what is supposedly an encyclopedia talking about that debate. Both sides should have their say if it's to be balanced in any way.
Yeah, Wikipedia has completely conflicting narratives all throughout that. I don't trust anything they say. And unfortunately, with the title and the name, it shows as if it promotes itself as some unbiased, objective version.
That couldn't be further from the truth.
Just not true.
I know from my own experience that it is deeply biased and totally unobjective. And I suspect that is true with many other Wikipedia articles as well. So these days, if I do want to search information on a subject and Wikipedia comes up as the first hit, I may look at what they say, but I'm going to check very carefully. I'm going to check very carefully the authenticity of what they're saying. And it's most unfortunate, because Wikipedia could be a beautiful thing, but it should not taint itself by handing over pages to particular interest groups who have skin in the game and wish to put another interest group down.
And it usually gets top 5, top 10 search. That's the problem.
Always.
And people just trust it for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's just as co-opted as any other social platform, with all sorts of strange agendas and all sorts of strange actors in the back with false names that are trying to push their agenda. So just as a note. And I took a look this morning just because I wanted to see, and I couldn't believe the very first line. It's Graham Hancock, pseudoscientist. It's like, okay, this guy has been writing books 30, 40 years. He's got a massive show on Netflix. He's got a massive following. and that's the way you want to introduce him to the world?
Yeah, exactly. And then when they do their coverage of the Ancient Apocalypse series, they solely quote hostile archaeologists. They don't look at anything else, as though that is just anything that an archaeologist said is an absolute unquestionable fact. That's how they present it, because that's what we're supposed to find in encyclopedias, is absolute unquestionable facts. That's what we expect to find. So if Wikipedia produces a page which cites hostile comments from archaeologists, members of the general public are going to think, oh, that's a fact. But it's not a fact. It's an agenda-driven position of a certain group of archaeologists.
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
This course has been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.